Hello, everybody from around the world. This is Samson Lee coming to you from Los Angeles. Wow. Hello, Jeunesse community out there. Very exciting to be here tonight. And I want to welcome everybody from around the world. And today we have people logging in again. This is our second webinar series in English, especially during the weekdays to help you boost your business. And today we have an amazing guest. Now, before I introduce our amazing guest, I just want to let everybody know that we do have the chat that's live, so you'll feel free to say hello to everybody. Also, later we're going to have a little Q&A, so if during our sharing and training, if you have questions, feel free to type in your questions later. All right? So very excited. Let's get started. Today, we have a very, very special guest, and this lady I met a little bit more than 10 years ago. And folks, you know, it's not often that you run to somebody fresh in the industry. Through her hard work, perseverance, and her personal growth, she has developed to be one of the best in jeunesse. That's right. So please give a warm welcome, if you want to do it in the chat or virtually, to our special guest speaker tonight, Double Diamond Director, Miss Yvonne Yen. Hello, Yvonne. How are you today?
Hello, Samson. Hello, all the friends around the world.
Wow. Look at Yvonne's in her fancy house.
Not as fancy as yours, Samson.
Yeah,
I just
right.
duplicate you, okay?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, well, first, welcome and thank you for taking the time to come on. Now, last week, it was our first one of the series. So we weren't sure how many people logged on, but I can see tonight, oh my gosh, we're going to surpass that number tonight. So very exciting. But thank you for taking the time. I know you're busy with your husband and your girls, and they're out there doing their thing right now while you're spending time with us. So the time is precious. Tonight, you know, I was thinking because it is the second of our series that since we have a rare opportunity to really talk to you because, you know, we want to keep it real here online because that's what it's about, authentic and real. I met you about a little bit more than 10 years ago, yeah?
About that, yeah.
Yeah, right? So we had a mutual acquaintance. I was invited to your house to talk, to share the money. All right. So I'm trying to soften Yvonne up, right? Because, you know, this is a little bit kind of just a friendly chat, okay? So Yvonne, at that time, before I went to her house, I was told that, oh, you know what? She's one of the sharpest people out there. She's a hustler. She's out there working it, doing very well in the financial industry. So I wasn't sure what to expect. So what did you think after I left about the opportunity?
Honest?
Yeah, of course, it's okay. We are here to have fun to get the truth out.
I think obviously the information you have shared was very fresh. I like that. But as far as to what extent do I really understand or do I anticipate this will be a huge opportunity is definitely not on my radar. I did not expect to have that, but I at least I'm glad I kept my mind open.
So what happened after that? What was the point where you say, you know what? Why not give it a shot? What was it?
Yeah, I have to say that I was not that serious in the beginning, in the first 6 months. I was saying I was sleeping because I have been busy with my financial planning business and also with my flower shop. So it was until 6 months later when I went to a typical meeting room like what we have in Los Angeles or in any other part of the world. And I noticed that I sensed that that was back in 2010, the mid of 2010. I noticed because there was a global recession, and I noticed that it become harder and harder for me to get more money from my clients to invest because they are small business owner, they suffer. But in the meanwhile, at the same city, with a different group of individual at the same timing, there's a group of people, they are positive, they are doing well. So I start wonder why at the same city, at the same time, people can go to different directions. So it got my curiosity that I would like to explore further.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you know, yeah, no, that's very true. At that time, it was just during the recession. but like anything, you know, opportunity arises when things happen, right? When we're at the bottom. So what was the point though? You see a lot of people, right? And they're positive, obviously, right? We're like a very happy bunch, yeah? And so what was it that made you take the next step?
I think that one of the turning point is when our USGS founding director, our big 大家长, Kim Wee, invite me to travel with her. That's when I really see the world is changing. As far as which direction we were heading to, I cannot say it. I cannot put the words onto it, but I do see something is happening. But I have to say that back then we didn't know. At least I didn't know. The only story I know is Samson's story or Kim's story. I know they were successful, but it really cannot give me a full picture. I think it did not give anyone a full picture about what we will become 10 years later. But what I do is I take this as a business. I take this seriously. So I work. Wherever you put me in, I work hard. So if you know, I'm not that kind of emotional person. I'm emotional in some way, but when I do business, I'm pretty even keel. So I think it's the longer I work, the more involvement I'm involved with the team. I transform gradually, and I take this business to the next level through that journey, reflection of journey.
Right. So now at that time, when we look back, obviously you mentioned that Kim invited you to travel with her. And I think that was what, the beginning of 2011? Or was it
I can't remember, probably. We went to
around that time, right?
Indonesia, Singapore, Vietnam, a few countries.
Yeah, right. And now, obviously, you know, people are very hungry all over the world, outside, especially outside the US, you know, I guess maybe because there's more people out there, so it's more competitive in life, or maybe it's a culture, whatever it is. And now, at that time though, now we can't make any income claim, okay? But I think you were not making that much money yet, right?
No, I think when I decide to let go my investment insurance practice and decide to go into Gines full time, I think my income with Gines was only $2,000.
Well, that's pretty good, but it's not like a lot to live on
it's only a fraction of my practice.
I know, right? And you were so brave to say, oh, you know what, just go do it full time, yeah?
Yeah, I think if by logic, it doesn't make sense, but I say to myself, you know, there's only one chance for you to really see how high you can fly. And I say to myself, if I fail, it doesn't matter. I can always go back to my old practice. But what if I make it to the top? What if this industry, this business is indeed with the trend? And I'm glad I did that choice. I follow my heart and did that selection.
Well, I mean, for those of you who don't know, okay, I mean, most of you out there, you're not double diamond yet. So how you get to double diamond, the level of achievement that Yvonne has had is that first, to become double diamond, you have to become diamond. So that's actually, you know, figure wise, it's about $1.5 to $2 million in sales per month in your group. It's not that easy. To be a double diamond, you have to have 2 people to do the same thing in your team. So that's quite an achievement. So anybody who reach a level of double diamond, they're not only just a beginner, they are pro. You have to do a lot to be a double diamond. And of course, you max out the Gines compensation plan. So, you know, we want to congratulate Yvonne because she's done it. She's done it from zero to become a double diamond today for quite a few years now. Now, as a matter of fact,
thank you, Master. Thank you, Shifu, Samson.
As a matter of fact, me and Yvonne became double diamond the same month. I don't know if she remembers that. So, but it was quite rewarding because when you work with people on a daily basis and you become successful together, it's a lot of fun. Well, anyway, so today, I know, you know, we talked a little bit earlier, and one of the things you're going to talk about today, and the main thing is how to get from beginner to a pro. All right. This is a hot topic because, you know, as me and Yvonne travel around the world, the thing is, everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to be a US millionaire. Everybody wants to be a diamond. The question is, how can you get from where you are today to that point in the sky? If we say, or the moon or the stars, it seems so far away. But and of course, yeah, we can say it. We can talk about it. But it's unless you have a strong emotional attachment, you're not going to start taking action now. So today, Yvonne's going to talk about how to go from beginner to pro. So how about this, Yvonne? Why don't you go ahead and take it away, huh?
Okay, thank you, Samson. I think I prepared this presentation to help us stay on track and get organized. And then as Samson indicated, at the end of the 20-30 minutes talk, we can open for Q&A. So I think the topic of today, let me call the documents. As Samson indicates, I think all of us started from the day one as a beginner, left zero, right zero. And this is my first time in this industry. So I'm a brand new breed into this. And a lot of time people always wonders, they want to get to where we are today. And they are curious about where we came from and what we do in the beginning. So today I try to put the thoughts into a simple format and hope that they can help you to become a pro in a very short period of time. So here we go. Why we need to become a pro? Why we need to be a pro? I think there are a few reasons, few practical reasons. First, of course, if you want to impact more, you need to be more knowledgeable. And there is a saying, knowledge is power. So you need to equip yourself with knowledge, abilities in order to influence more. Second of all, of course, the laws of attractions. We always want to have a superstar. One superstar, one Samson on the left, one Yvonne on the right, bingo. But the key is how we get to that stage. The answer is, before you get superstar, let us become a superstar ourselves first. Because when you show your commitments, your passion in this business, automatically, without you saying too much, people will get attracted to your energy. So whatever you want to have in your organization, let's become that first person first. Third reason why we want to be a pro, being a pro in our industry has a huge advantage. Today when we talk about pro, we think about doctors, attorney, engineers, all those professions. But with our industry being a pro, it's so simple. It's low entry. You don't need a college degree. You don't need a PhD degree. And not only with the low entry, anyone can do it, but also we have a huge potential. That huge potential, there's no income claim, but our huge potential just on the income alone is way more than those professions. And I'm not putting down any professions. We are glad to have so many professions in our society. But if you want to take the shortcut, if you want to become a pro in a certain area, obviously our industry has a huge advantage. And of course, without saying, when you're doing it like a pro, your earning can be like a pro. It's pretty simple. And here is the standard of procedure, SOP, for being a pro. I don't play baseball, but I like the baseball court. It's very simple. 1, 2, 3, bang, home run. So I think for anyone, doesn't matter you are beginner or you have been around for a long time, if you want to take this business from today being serious, this is your SOP. The first thing, we have a first step, of course, first base, second base, third base, and then we go to the home run. So on the first base is you want to master, you want to learn how to be a B. We talk about ABC. A is the expert, B, we are the bridge, and C is our prospect. So today, I don't want to focus on each details, but instead, I would like to offer you the guideline, the checklist, so that after the presentation today, you can go back to review. We have many YouTube channels, done by many great speakers, by Samson, by our systems leaders. You can learn more in details, but instead of focus on the details, I want to give you the big picture and guidelines. So how to become a B? And B is simple. B is all about invitation and edification. So under invitation, today I would like to give you my version, my definition of invitation. Maybe it's something you never think of. It's very simple, but your mind have to be clear. When you are in front of the prospect, in front of your client, in front of your friends, you need to have a clear mind here is what you try to accomplish. So it's very important. First, invitation is only occur after you learning about the current situation of other people. You know, I often say we are the solution providers. You know, what a great job. We are solution provider. But before the solution can be in place, the diagnosis need to be done. So that's why you need to talk about, you know, family, job, vacation to find out what their situations are so that you can offer the invitation step. You can move to the next step. So it's only after you learn about their situation, not before, not right after you see your friend, hey, there's a great company called Genius Global, da, 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 da. You don't want to be a salesperson. You want to be the solution provider. So you got to make sure the order need to be in the right place. Second of all, the invitation, remember, we ask people if they want to learn more. We are not ask people to sign up. I think at this moment, a lot of people, they are not even aware that during the invitation stage, it's not to ask people to sign up, because when you don't do all the front preparations, when you ask people to sign up, number one, you feel nervous. Number one, you don't feel comfortable. And when you don't feel comfortable, you cannot perform. You cannot really make people feel about your passion, about how much you really care about them. So if we just need to ask people, hey, do you want to learn more about it? Anyone can say it, and I bet many people would like the chance to learn more instead of ask them to sign up, okay? Next is you need to learn how to tell your story or other people's story. So if I run into, for example, a nurse, you know, I'm not a nurse, but I definitely can share a story of other nurse in this business. People always want to know the same type of people, what do they do? So learn, that's why you want to get involved, get on every Zoom meeting, get on every opportunity meeting. Why? Because you are there to collect the story. So next, on the edification. So for example, if today I run into my old coworker who has been working on 9-to-5 job, and you know she or he complained about, you know, the income doesn't really go over the years. Then after I learning about the situation, I say, hey, you know what if there's a business opportunity that allow you to have your own business without changing the current job situation? Will you be open more? So that's what I just did, invitation. So if they say, yeah, of course, then I just say I want to invite the person to meet with Samson. So now I need to tell her about my definition, my understanding about Samson. So this stage is called edification. So a lot of time edification, I notice a lot of people like to package their expert very well, which is good. But in the meanwhile, I have some guideline for you, because I think at today's stage, people want to feel comfortable. People want to feel, you know, they are at the same frequency. Sometimes when we say something too far away, we might scare people. People might feel, it's good, but it's not for me. So I provide a few guidelines for you to use as a reference. The first guideline for edification is being personal and sincere. You know, Samson is a great friend of mine. He has been very successful in the furniture business, but in this platform, he has been one of the top successful leaders and always in the field helping people. I think he's a great guy. You should meet with him. To me, that's called edification. I don't need to say, you know, Samson is a millionaire. You know, he is, you know, override so many countries. I mean, all those may not resonate with your friend. So I would say the best guideline is being sincere, being personal. As you try to introduce your neighbor, your friend to your friend, because people only want to meet with the person that they feel comfortable. Number two is I want to make the description resonate. So again, very similar to personal and sincere. If my friend is coworker, never owned a business before, if I say, you know what, you should meet Samson. He is one of the greatest entrepreneur I have ever known. He override the business. He travel internationally. You know, your friend like it, but they might think, it's too far away. How do I relate myself to Mr. Samson? So instead of saying that, maybe you can use a different approach. So maybe, say, hey, you know what, Samson used to be into the small in the small business, just like where you are in, and he found a better way of having the own business without putting in too much capital. So I think just use a different creative way to make people feel they can relate. So that's the point that I try to make. So third, on the advocation is encouraging, because a lot of time people want something, but they need that final push. They need someone to really say, hey, you know what? You should go meet with Samson. There's still nothing to lose. You will it doesn't matter you find this business is for you or not, but Samson could be a great reference. You will want to meet with him. So try to encouraging the person, because a lot of time, the reason people don't go to the meeting, the reason people don't want to sign up, not because they don't want, it's because they are afraid if they can make it or not. So I would say encouraging. We are right there to provide the support to make people feel comfortable. So that is all we need to know about how to become a B. Simple, right? Very simple. Don't wait till 6 months of time to become an expert in B. Immediately in the first week or two, you should become a B in your journey. And the second base is, of course, you want to earn like a pro, you got to be like a pro. So how to be a pro? Being a pro, again, I say it earlier, it's not about having the talk like a doctor, like a presenter at the local meetings. You can be an expert in a very unique way. And when I refer to unique way is, it doesn't need to be lengthy. It doesn't need to be so tongue twisting statements. It can be something simple that people can relate. But there are few guidelines that can help you to become a better expert. The first is you want to be an expert in this area. You want to use your own way of the explanation to describe our business model, our company. We need to be a master in describing product. We need to be an expert in describing the comp plan. And the key is you need to explain about your field. So I'm not saying give a lengthy 1 hour presentation about these 4 key items, but you can just use a very unique way to describe why our products are very different than what is being sold at the department store, and why our comp plan is so attractive to the small business owner compared to the traditional business, and about your field. Exactly what your friends are looking for. There's no way they understand everything you describe, but they can tell if you find the fulfillment by getting involved in this business or in this community. So the bottom line is, the way you described about these 4 things have to be concise. Don't drag, don't talk about long, but without hit the point. The point is why our business model is unique, why Jeunesse, why our product is so different than what we have been using from the department stores. So you want to use a concise way, layman term to describe, and unique in your own way. You don't need to copy anyone. Whatever make you feel comfortable, whatever make you feel special, just use your way. But you got to make sure you have the substance, you have the content. And most importantly is you want to have passion, because people can tell if you truly enjoy this business, or you simply try to get another sales, get another recruit. So that is all we need to know about how to become an expert. It's very interesting. I've been traveling with Samson and with other leaders in the last 10 years. And the stuff that we try to teach, we try to share, it's not much new. It's pretty much the same. But the key is, Can you elevate yourself to do it at the next level? So that's very important. That's why I mentioned earlier, our business, becoming a pro in our industry, has a huge advantage. You don't need a PhD degree. You don't need to spend few years to become an expert. If you want, in a month or two, you should become an expert. That's it. And you have the potential to earn like an expert. So the best way to learn how to do the business, I would suggest, is attend the meeting and invite the expert to be your expert at the one-on-one, so you can review at the end of meeting how you can do better. Our business is not about theory. It's about learning by doing it. So this is my journey in the last 10 years. I constantly learn. I constantly pick on something that maybe that can integrate into my business. So again, it's doable, it's simple. So the third base, of course, once you become a master in becoming a B and becoming an A, the next thing is productivity. And when I talk about productivity, I talk about quality time in the pipeline. In the pipeline means we need to be in front of the members, in front of our friends, in front of our prospects. So for those of you who are very new, before you sponsor 40 people, I think you should spend at least 80% of your time constantly looking for new people. And then once you hit 40, I mean, there's no exact guideline, but I just don't want new people. A lot of time when people become Sapphire, once they reach a sponsorship of 12 people, they start become in the management mode. Don't do that. Your business will be driven by your productivity. You want constantly to have a new lines, new team. That's what I refer to quality time. And also this business is not about part-time, full-time. It's about the quality time. So I see a lot of people, they claim they are full-time in the business, but my key is show me your calendar. Let me know if you are in front of 15 people at least on a weekly basis. So you need to be constantly in front of people, especially you try to build the foundation. So that is what I refer to quality time in productivity. So ask yourself, how much money you would like to earn in the next 3 months? Set a goal. And then once you set a target, how many hours are you willing to put in? And then how many meetings are you going to do on a weekly basis? So usually, if you are in this business seriously full-time, I would say get into the 315 mode. That means you see 3 people, 3 different people a day, every week, and you will have a 15 appointments. So if you finish your 15 appointments by Thursday, you know what? Go play golf on Friday. Go do spa on Friday. It doesn't matter. You already meet your goals. And for those people who are part-timers, I would suggest, again, it depends on how much money you would like to make. Sometimes people can put in 10 hours a week, even you work full-time, which is totally doable by meeting 3-4 people during the weekday in the evening and then catch up in the weekend. So again, how many hours are you willing to put in? And then usually divide the time you want to put in by 2. That is pretty much how many people you can meet. So if you can put in 10 hours a week, I would say meet at least 5 people a week. So that is the general guideline. When I meet with my team member, after we talk, okay, it doesn't matter what kind of question. At the end of the meeting, the bottom line is, I want to find out their income, their expectation in the next 3 months. And I want to find out how much time they are willing to put in. So when they walk out the rooms, if they don't remember anything, people feel good in the interpersonal relationship dialogue. But at the end of the day, they need to remember, I need to have 10 appointments a week so that in 3 months, per se, I can have, $2,000 extra per month. So people usually remember those hot items. So I will encourage everyone, if you don't know how much money you want to make, and I will encourage you to get into this exercise so you have a guideline. This is not about, I want to become a ruby, diamond, double diamond. It's not about that. It's about how you do each and every week. Where we are today is a foundation, is an accumulation of what we do on a daily and weekly basis. So you have to know what is my minimum commitment, which is 15 appointments a week or 10 appointments a week. That is your minimum commitment. If you continue to do that, and in the process of refining it, I trust you. You trust me, you will get to where you want to be quicker than you think. Okay, so now you know to become a pro, it's not a rocket science. Just the first base, second base, and third base. So master to be a B as soon as possible. Master to be an A as soon as possible. It's not too hard. It's only those 4 items. And then have a high productivity. And once you become the best superstar, you know, your home run is all the team members would duplicate you. And once you have many people do what you do, your organization will be very successful. There's no question about it. You look at any successful top leader, is they gotta have a few top players in the organization. And where do they learn? Where do they look out to? It's definitely the top leader. So you want to be that CEO, you want to be that best example for your team. So in conclusion, at the end of the day, always remember that being a professional is doing the things you love to do, even on the days you don't feel like doing them. So I take this business seriously, and I'm glad, and this business does take me seriously in returns. So, you know, now I look back 10 years of time with a blink of eyes. If you ask me how I did it, I can't explain. I can't put it in words, but I do know I work hard and I take this business seriously. So that will conclude my sharing today. And I'm going to turn the mic to our handsome Samson.
Thank you, Yvonne. Very, very concise and to the point. I hope all of you out there took good notes, right? Now, I never realized that baseball is such a good analogy for our business. Now, we're going to get into the Q&A. So for those of you who have questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and I'll try my best to sort through and select, okay? So we just announced that, let the chat accumulate a little bit. But in the meantime, Yvonne, let's talk a little bit, okay? Okay, for you now, obviously you were a top earner in the financial industry in your field, right? And I say this because, you know, a lot of people, you know, they come into Jeunesse, they go like a rocket, become successful very fast, while other people take time. Was there any skill, or did you do anything the same or different transferring from your industry to Jeunesse in terms of skills or mindset, etc.?
In fact, it's really nothing much different, because I often say whatever you do the best, you know, with the same commitment, the same passion you apply to this business, you'll be successful. You know, it doesn't matter you own the business or not. If for example, I talk to a team members who is a housewife, never worked before, and sometimes they feel hesitant of doing the business. And I will ask, what do you do the best? Cooking, knitting, playing tennis, doesn't matter. Because once you take Jeunesse, you work Jeunesse like your best hobby or like your best profession, you would do well. Because at the end of the day, it's nothing much difference, only easier. I don't have that much information, that much service, that much worry compared to my insurance business. So if you can do what you do in your current profession, doesn't matter, it's a 9-to-5 job, is a housewife, or is a business owner, you take the same high level of productivity and seriousness with work ethic, you can do it. It's not that hard at all.
Okay, very good. Now, as you know, most of the people in our team, they're first timers, yeah? It's very refreshing because we get all kinds of people. They come from all kinds of background, right? Have money, have no money, a housewife, engineer, professional who has practices, or just a blue collar, housewife, all kind. A lot of them, I see there's a question asked about Indonesia, but I want to take that question from Ivy Waterman asking about Indonesia market, but I want to take it to the next level because obviously Jeunesse is a global business, as a global platform. So many times, how do we do business overseas? How do you grow? How do you, when you're a beginner and you have your contact list and you have people, let's say Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, UK, Mexico, Canada, wherever, Korea, how do you go about working those markets?
That's a very good question. In fact, first of all, I want to clarify. Sometimes people have that illusion. I'm not saying that the person who asked the question, just a general. A lot of people think that the grass is always greener on the other side. So if I'm in Los Angeles, I say, you know what, Hong Kong definitely is a much better market. Malaysia, Singapore definitely is a better market. Yes or no. But the bottom line is you need to be an expert in your local market. You need to master every phase of this business. There's no guarantee if you don't know anything and you just travel to Hong Kong, you will run into a superstar. So I think the key is we always need to equip ourselves, always be ready. And as far as your next superstar is coming from your local or from overseas, we cannot predict, but we need to present the best. So there's no difference in doing the business in Los Angeles versus in Indonesia or in Singapore. The key is the process is still the same. People are looking for a better quality living. Nothing to me is how I conduct the business here versus in Asia or in any other part of the world. I don't think there's any major difference. And in the meanwhile, leverage the system, leverage the Zoom, leverage your leader. You don't always have to travel in order to make the sales. So leverage the tool, leverage the community.
Okay, so let me ask you a more personal question because it kind of relates. So obviously, you have your brother in Taiwan. So did you ever approach him about Jeunesse? Because that's a very common thing that everybody has, right? They have relatives or family members around the world. So tell us the story.
Well, I'm going to make it as a bonus question to you, Samson, not just my brother. For those of you, if you think your family, your best friend don't join you, you have a friend, okay? My best girlfriend from high school 30 years ago, my brother, my only brothers, my only sister-in-law, they did not do this business. So it's not about they join you or not. It is about, are they the right people? Are they ready for this opportunity? But I'm in this business for me. Even all my close family members and friends, they don't join me. Hey, I can still make it. So do not take this personally, learn to respect. But no, I talked to my brother many times and it's not connected. We are still family. We are still good siblings, but it's just not connected that way.
Yeah. Now, okay. So the reason why I asked a particular question also because obviously he's in Taiwan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I know you have a very big Taiwan team. So instead of your brother or sister-in-law or your high school friend, how did you start Taiwan market then?
I think again it's through a team members, not through my direct sponsor. Not it's just through a team. I think I have to say is everything Samson and I have been sharing with the team is exactly how we practice. So maybe it's because of one of the leader is in Taiwan, or maybe I was in Taiwan. So we get to meet. My Taiwan team doesn't start from my close family. It actually starts from team members. So does that address your question, Samson?
No, it's great because, a lot of people, when they look on their contact list, I have people here, I have people there, I have people there. They're trying to, and a lot of them get disappointed because their close family or friends did not start their business with them, right? I mean, just like you, right? So it's a very relevant question for a lot of people. Should they get disappointed? That's the thing.
Well, today is a therapy section, okay? If your friend, your family don't join you, it is okay.
It is okay, everybody. Okay, great. Now, okay, so we have another question asking, Yvonne, please share best practices to continuously fill the pipeline. Very good question.
You need to find your circle. You need to, I know some of you say, Yvonne, I run out of the friends. You know what? Then go make some friends. You know, you don't expect you to run into someone and they become friends with you, they trust you right away. And I actually learned it from my as a financial advisor back in the old and in a different industry. Is I joined Rotary, I joined Lions Club, I joined Chinese businesswoman clubs, I joined the Chamber of Commerce. Why? Because I want to constantly to get feeds on the name list, and I want to constantly to go out there to meet people. And we don't necessarily work together at the first time, but people only want to work with the people if they know they will come back. So when I'm involved in those community service, I always offer to serve. That's why I become ambassador, I become board of the directors. So people trust you more, people know you are reliable. I may not be the best financial advisor, but they still choose to work with me. Why? You know, compared to other, you know, more senior, more advanced financial advisors, because they trust you. They know they can expect you to be there. You are active in the community. So how to be active in the pipeline? Number one, you need to have a circle. You need to have a place to go to on a regular basis. Number two is you just need to have a work ethics. If your commitment is to have a 15 appointments, go find that 15. And if you don't have friends to see, by going to those mixer of the organization can count as one appointment. Why? Because they will open the door for you to see more people. And you know, don't think that our industry is anywhere different. You ask realtor, you ask car salespeople, you ask any corporate sales items. I'm a pharmaceutical sales. What they do? They need to be active in the community to find a few circle to constantly to make themselves in front of other people. So there's no difference than building other business. So that's number one, have a work ethic. Once you commit to how many appointments a week, make it happen. I remember before in the when I as a newbie in the financial practice, we don't have an office yet. We are in the cubicle. In the cubicle means you have a wall around you. So when you look at your calendar, the weekly calendar, if it's all empty, that means there's no moolah, there's no business. So what you need to do, you got to keep yourself busy. You have to get to a point that your weekly calendar is blocked by appointments. So I start calling friends, I start calling different organizations to see if they have a mixer, if they have any activities for me to attend to. I don't feel comfortable of going home until I see my weekly calendar is full. So we need to get to that stage. Take this as a business, take this as a job, and you will get it in return. So that's my answer, Samson.
That's excellent advice. And a lot of you don't know, you know, I think, was it during or right before, or was it during when you first joined Jeunesse? You know, Yvonne was the first chairwoman of the Chamber of Commerce in our area, which is a big Chamber of Commerce filled with what is it, 400 to 500 businesses, right? It's a pretty big one, yeah.
I can't remember.
yeah, right. That's in the past life. It's not even important anymore, right? But I mean, if anybody knows how to network, you know, Yvonne already done it successfully before she joined Jeunesse, and so all those tips is very on point, and those are excellent tips. Okay, so now the next question is from Cheryl in San Francisco. Her question is how to keep our momentum at the highest point. But I think maybe we got to go back and really kind of share what is momentum and then how to create it. Maybe that will help her.
Again, I think it go back to the way, this is the way I work, the way I view is I observe all the successful people in the organization are the people who have work ethics and who always find things to do, who always do above and beyond. So we are entrepreneurs. So usually we, you know, if you attend the meeting, you are part of the community, you get all the energy boost already. But at the end of the day, when you are alone, the key is Do you really want this business? If you want, you find a way. If this way doesn't work, we take an alternative route. We find a different way of doing it. So I don't really think that I need people to encourage me. Uh, I think just, again, I'm a more even keel person. I'm not the emotional person. If I do it, I do it. And a lot of time, you need to do it enough. You need to have enough frequent activities before you get to the next level. So I remember long time ago, there's a lady asked him a question. I can't even remember the questions, but the answer from Kim to the lady is, when you sponsor another 20 more, then you come ask me. Why? Because a lot of time we nothing personal, but a lot of time we spend a lot of time think about those hypothetical questions. But the bottom line is, go to work. When you work enough, you realize you don't even remember the question already. When you are so busy producing, let's say you only have one appointment a week. If one got canceled, you get depressed. Why? Because you is 100%, missing in action. But when you have 15 appointments, only one, missing in action or one cancel, do you care? You don't care, because you use the frequency, use your, activity to put you above the game. So again, it's about going to work. If you really know why you do this, and if you are constantly with the community, join the Zoom, be part of the team activities, I think that's plenty for you to keep going. Right. Sorry, do I address the question?
Yeah. So momentum, for those of you maybe just break it down one step further, is that the more activity you have, the more production you have, the more people working besides, and also you working, that creates momentum, because then the results start coming on. Now, how to create more of it, you create more in numbers, right? And more activity with more people, right? You can do like a one-on-one where you sponsor one person. You can do you can sponsor people, but your team can do that also to enroll more packages. And then you start doing bigger meetings, meetups, and then opportunity meetings. Someday, what if you stood in front of a stage of 5,000 people? All those people are on your team. That's massive momentum. So what Yvonne's point was is that, you got to drive the momentum yourself, first, and then work with the people who drive the momentum. Work with the people who are busy. I mean, that's a perfect answer. And then, because her question was how to maintain it at the highest point. Well, I mean, there's never the highest point, because you're always helping. Besides you, yourself, your own production, you're always helping the people in your team, right? So the more people working, the more people bringing up, you got to do more duplication, right? So then that means your leaders in your team can also grow their team with you, and then later become more independent as they learn the trade, yeah? So, I mean, it's funny. My old username was Peak Momentum. It's funny she asked that question, but I believe that's how we really create the momentum, right, at the highest peak. Maybe I can add to that one point, because, Yvonne answered it beautifully. For me, to create the momentum in terms of timing of the business was that I worked very hard, of course, to build my team first. As you go through people, some people will be customer, some people will be some people will be partners. But you got to go fast, no matter what. It's easier to build fast and slow, yeah, Yvonne? Right? And then I would build definitely very hard before any event. I will go out, talk to even more people. Instead of gauging my business on a daily basis, I would go all out for the next week or 2 or 3 or a month or 2 to the next event. And then at the event, usually we have something exciting, people get energized, maybe some promotion, maybe new product, so that people are excited. Well, the more you build at the beginning, the more people you have attending the event. And those events are springboard to the next level. But after the event, I made a conscious decision to make double the effort, because I don't want to let this momentum die. I don't want to get the excitement die, because in our business, the more people are excited, the more activities, the more production, the more money is going to come in. But at the same time, the more success that people are going to have when you look at the team, how many leaders coming up. And so we build from event to event, and so after the event, I try to double the effort, and we continue that to the next event, maybe a month or 2 or 3 later, and then I double the effort after that again. I mean, I think Yvonne, you can share how tired we are sometimes.
Yeah, I think one thing in common, Samson and I are two different type of personality. He's an artist. I'm a more logical person. But I think one thing in common is we both work very hard. We work hard until the time, I remember when we first built Malaysia. I'm a hardworking individual. I can remember maybe at the Hilton, we talk to people constantly, the leader constantly send people to meet with us. And after the whole day of talking, I want to throw up. I really want to throw up. I just have no taste on the food. And then Samson still keep going. And at the end of the day, we just cannot function. But at least we give our best. I think that's what I feel we should do. Every one of us give our best, because you don't know when you give your best, do we have any regret? Zero regret. I just wish we can do even more. If we could have known that this opportunity can grow to such a huge platforms, I would even do more. So I would encourage all of you, when you work enough activities, I think what Samson just mentioned about double the activity. In fact, sometimes you don't need to choose to do double activity. The team already push you to do more because there are more needs. The team want you to come, Singapore team wants Samson, Malaysia team, other team want you to be there. So when you have enough activity, you have a base. Trust me, if you do the good examples, your team wants you. It's not sometimes, I often say it's not anyone work for us. It's we as a leader, we work for our team. So when you get to the certain level, once you have the volume, you don't need anyone to remind you, hello, you got to do double activity. You just happen to do it automatically. So, Samson?
Perfect. That's perfect. Now, so let me ask you a couple other questions. We have about 8 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes left, okay? So since everybody's so quiet, they all know everything. I'm going to ask some questions because I think for especially maybe the new people online, and for the old people, you can maybe reminisce about, how to build the foundation at the beginning, because I want to talk about that because I think that's very important. So of course, when we first started the business, we got to, write down the reasons why we're in the business, okay? And then after that, maybe when we identify our own motivation, because that's what the why is, that's our own motivation. We are trained to maybe, use our contact list, the people that we know, right? So then as we go out to share, we're trying to figure out how to share, right? So at the beginning, Yvonne, can you tell them how you did it at the very, very beginning?
I remember I used the back of my calendar. I write down my name list in the back of the calendars. So I constantly add the name. It's not a fancy spreadsheet, just a handwriting in the back of in the back of the calendar. And my goal is to talk to all the people. And when they say no to me, it is okay. I cross them out. I shouldn't, but I just cross them out. I don't care. They say yes or say, I shouldn't say I don't care, but to me, my goal is to go through these people instead of making a long list without reaching out to them. So if those people say no to me, I cross them out. I feel happy at this, I done it. For those people say yes, I put an apple, as like a team, like the kindergarten, teacher.
Or maybe a Hello Kitty sticker, right?
Yeah, I put an apple, now I would put the, other cute characters sticker. So that's how I do it. And every appointment, I take it seriously. I learn from it. Would all the people say yes to me? No, definitely no. But the key is constantly in the trenches, seeing people. So,
so how did you share with them though? What did you share with them? You see the people, then what do you say to them? At the beginning, I mean, right or wrong, it doesn't matter. Because
I tell you that I like to use this example. The first person I talked to is my flower shop partner, Julie Tan. And today she's a happy retiree. Okay. She's a diamonds, travel around the world. You know, remember during those days, we don't have a website, we don't have a system, we don't have the tools. But again, how you normally treat your friend is how you treat this in the business. It's very simple. It's not that complicated. So I called Julie and I say, hey, you know, are you open to make some money? She said, of course. So I went into the flower shop to meet with her. And what did I tell her? I know nothing. I just signed up. I know nothing about the business, but I share the story. So I tell Julie what happened to me. My old clients came to me, tell me about this. I say $1,200, you know, doesn't matter if I lose. I just exchange the product. If, you know, if it's true, we get into a new trendy industry. So that's what I say to Julie. But when I say it, I mean it from my heart. I say to Julie, I remember, I say, Julie, I want to tell you because just in case I make it to the top, you know, you won't complain to me that I abandon you. Because when I reach, of course, I won't do flower shop anymore. So I mean it. So, you know, everything I say to my friends, I'm serious. That's why there's a saying is how, you know, if you are someone that has friends, it doesn't matter how many friends, if you treat your prospect as your friends with a sincerity, you will go to the top because this business is about how sincere you are. If you really care about your friend, you want to give the best. You want to give them a second choice. So is that the answer you're looking for, Samson?
No, but that's a great example because a lot of people get hung up on the money part. You know, they're like, oh, you know, I don't want to talk about making money. I'm not making money yet. Or, oh, I don't have much confidence in it or in myself yet. So they get caught on that. But I think at the end of the day, we know our own motivation. And if it's a friend or acquaintance that know us and we know them and there's some sort of trust, like you said, we can come from the heart, right? I think especially, you know, one thing I learned is that it doesn't matter what culture around the world, unless it's heart to heart, you don't get anything done. I mean, it's very difficult, right? Because normal business is transactional. What that means is just like making a sale and that's it. But our business is more than transactional. You know, it's about building a community, right? Community of positive people that are out to create something, right? We have a couple minutes left. Let me see.
Samson, let me add on to that.
Go ahead. Yes.
I think the key is sometimes when you take the outcome, when you worry about the outcome, that's when you cannot perform. If you just put aside, it doesn't matter your friend join you or not join you, but you want to give your friend the best presentation that why they should do this. What in your eye, what do you think this business is unique? Forget about they will sign up or not. So when you give the best with the best intention, you don't have the pressure on yourself, you automatically will perform. So I think a lot of time people concerned, you know, people joking about, oh, you know, before I joined GNS, I can chit chat with my friend all day long. But once I become a GNS member, I don't know what to say. Why? Because you give too much pressure to yourself. You concern people saying no to you. Give the right of saying yes or no back to your friend. You are just there to present another solution, another option in life. Either they want to take it or not, it is their decision. Don't hold on to yourself. Don't add the burden to yourself. So if you have that mentality, I think you can find this business very simple because we are out there to help people.
Yeah, wow, excellent. Because like you said, it's very interesting because you talk about, you know, life, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not about GNS, is it? It's not only about the product, right? It's about creating a new life, a different kind of way to live, right? A better lifestyle. How's your lifestyle nowadays, Yvonne? How's your lifestyle?
I'm grateful. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, she retired her husband.
5 years ago.
5 years ago. So Calvin's pretty happy, yeah? I know, it's okay. Someday we'll get him on the webinar. He can tell us how happy he is. But but I believe that, you know, at the end of the day, I think we all want something. We all something. We see something here, something, maybe a potential or a hope, or we see other people succeeding, and that's what inspires other people to make that change. And I think no, Cheryl has another question about invitation, but I think Yvonne already answered it in a way that, you know what, it's just be real. You know, tell them what you saw, because they haven't seen what you have seen. They haven't heard what you have heard. So all you are is just a messenger and relate the message, right? And I think if you're real to your friend or family, they will support you, or they won't. But then by that time, you know who your real friends are, right? So the last question, Yvonne. Okay, all right. We have Anna Shu. Okay, she asked, "Hi, Yvonne, Samson. How did you guys emotionally recover when meeting a prospect goes pretty poorly when you first started? I know as we shouldn't take it personally, and everything will have their own perspective of the business, but still hurts a bit. Scares me a bit. Share again. So what would you do to feel better?" Okay,
Simple,
thank you in
Anna.
advance.
If you know there's no income claim, if you know a year from now your monthly income is 10,000 or more, will you still get hurt? Too practical, huh? Too direct, huh?
Okay. No, how about from an emotional aspect? Huh? So
You know,
so I know, look, not everybody's like you, okay? You already doing so well in the financial industry. It's like, you know, you can go through people. But how do you overcome those people that are like, you know, that gets to you?
hey, I get hurt too. I tell you, very simple. When people say no to you, remember, they say no not to you personally. They say no to this for them to get involved in the business at this point of time. So don't take it personally. Again, that's the answer. They say no to this opportunity at this given time. Not say no to you as a person. You know, at the end of the day, I often tell people is it's okay, my friend don't join me, but I want my friend to have the respect that I care about them. And I want them to know there is such a platform. There's an amazing quality lifestyle that we all deserve to have. Either they want to take it or not, it is okay. So also, if we pay attention to the way we deliver the message, are we too pushy, or we simply just want the friends to know we are sincere? And either they take it or not, it's up to them. I think people will respect you. They may not join us, but it is their decision. So I hope that addressed your concern, Anna.
Yeah, good. You got don't disrespect yourself. So you make sure they respect you. So do it in a way that's open and honest. I mean, it could be forceful because of some people, they just love and love their friends and family, right? So people are like overwhelmingly forceful, but
Too much love.
too much love. And it's Valentine's Day, right? So Valentine's Day is in Asia. So happy Valentine's Day. But at the end of the day, like Yvonne said, you know what? Just be the messenger, you know, and share in a good way, a positive way. If they don't see it, well, I mean, maybe someday they will. Hopefully they will. Yvonne, how many people have told you that they wish they joined you at the beginning?
Many. They ask me how come I don't push them further.
That's the truth, right? Oh my gosh. And actually a lot of people
Tell this story. It's a true story. I don't know if Angela mentioned this to you before. Is I actually get to know Angela. I don't know Angela, the guest speaker, Emerald director from last seminar. I actually know her husband before I know Angela. So I actually, one time, long story, I went to see her husband, who has a double practice in accounting and also in law. And on the weekend, because that time our accountant was, you know, is American, they don't open on the Sunday, but I do need the answer right away. So we brought our tax return to see is, you know, Angela's husband is very gracious to help us on the weekend. So when he looked at our tax return, he freeze. And he said, how come you didn't tell me about this business? I said, what do you mean I didn't tell you about the business? I told you in the beginning. So anyway, that's the true story. And that's why he said, you know, you should talk to my wife, Angela. So
Okay.
all the fun story brought back to the memory.
That's very funny because she said, yeah, her husband wanted her to retire him.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So folks, you know, I think tonight it's fantastic to spend this past hour with Yvonne. Our time is up, and a lot of people are just very happy of your sharing experience and expertise and the professionalism that you brought to the business. So I appreciate it very much. And of course, you are one of the best of the best. Thanks for being in my team. Okay. And anyway,
We have been 10 years.
I know, right?
Not just leader and you know, partners. I think we are more like a family. So I'm happy to be a part of this great family, USGS family around the world.
Yay. So thank you very much, Yvonne. Next Thursday, we're going to have another webinar. I'm going to take it upon myself. I don't know who's going to host, but we'll have to figure that out. But next Thursday, we'll have the webinar again, and I'm actually going to talk about the why. That's my thing, isn't it? The kind of like the thing that is like hard to grasp, right? Okay, thank you, Yvonne.
Especially after being through so many up and down in your last 10 years journey, you got lots of why to share.
Oh boy, okay, look out. Thanks, Yvonne. Okay, a lot of hidden messages there. Okay, so everybody, thank you for your time being on the webinar. I know you're serious, and thank you, Yvonne. Yvonne, say goodbye to everybody. We'll see everybody next Thursday.
Thank you. See you all at the top.
Woo!